Hi everybody, this is Rebecca Keppel. I am super excited to be back with another video because I've been really sick lately. I'm pretty sure I had the flu, and so I am really glad to be back making videos. This one is using the Waffle Flower Disc Bound Dies collection, and I'm going to show you 3 different ways to use those disc bound dies and the discs to organize a cardstock swatch book, a ink blending swatch book, and a photo flip book. Okay, this is the A2 disc bound die. You can see you get several dies in here with various orientations to where the holes are cut and how large the rectangles are. So I cut out a bunch of pieces of my Gina K Designs cardstock into A2 panels, and I'm going to cut out a bunch of those rectangles, and here are the discs. There's a warm collection and a cool collection. I'll have them all linked in the description below. Okay, I just wanted to show you that you can cut 2 pieces at a time. Just the second one you'll just have to kind of pop out, but with the Gemini Junior it is no problem cutting 2 pieces at once. So these are all my strips of cardstock with the holes punched on the side there. I am going to be using the cream discs because I felt like that was a nice neutral color for my rainbow of cardstock. So I just need 2 of them, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. If you've never used these before, they're super easy to pop on. It feels a little like wobbly at first, but once you get a couple more pieces of paper on there, you'll have no problems and it will be a perfect little swatch book for you. So I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me put every single piece of cardstock on those discs, but I just love this rainbow of colors and I love having this on hand. I like that it's a handheld size as well, and it is just really easy to grab out, put in your desk or put next to your cardstock, whatever you is best for you and your organization. I just want to show you too that once you have everything in the book, it's real easy to just pull out a piece of cardstock and match it with another piece of cardstock to see how your cardstocks work together, and then just pop it back in. So once I have that done, I am going to use a white gel pen and just write the names of the colors on the back so that I can easily decide which ones I want to use and then go find them in my cardstock collection. So that's one way to use the disc bound dies. This second set of dies is the A7 disc bound die. You can see it has the largest size is an A7 die, and again the different rectangles and orientations for those holes that are punched. I am again going to be using the 2-hole punch, and this time I am using some Strathmore Bristol Smooth. This is going to be an ink blending swatch book, and I want to use the cardstock that I normally ink blend on. That's why I'm using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth. If you like to ink blend on a different color cardstock, try that as well. This is the combo swatch stamp set, and I am going to stamp those in the Gina K Amalgam Black ink, and I'm going to just stamp all of my little panels with this stamp set. It's got a little open square there, and then it's got lines with numbers. There's 4 bullet lines on the bottom. Now I'm using the Color Combos for Ink Pads stamp set to stamp 3 different colors within that square. So I'll have a small rectangle, a medium-sized rectangle, and then a large rectangle, and I'm going to stamp them right next to each other. It's okay if they overlap a little bit because you'll see how the blending works as far as stamping on top of each other, but this is just to give you an idea on one side how these inks look stamped. So I am using my Distress Oxide inks for this. Those are the inks that I like to blend with. So I want to show on one side which colors I'm using, and I'm going to stamp them out to do that, and then on the other side I'm going to ink blend the 3 colors together. So for this particular one I used tumbled glass, and then I used, I can't remember what the middle one was, and then I used faded jeans as the darkest one. We'll see when I blend it out exactly which one that second one was. So I think that this is a really good way to figure out what colors you like together and how well they blend together as well. I'm going to do another one here for you. This one is Spiced Marmalade. This time I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up to Picked Raspberry and then Squeezed Lemonade. This is one of my favorite color combinations that I like to blend with and stamp with. Okay, now that I have my inks stamped out, I'm going to flip this panel over and I'm going to ink blend on top of it. Okay, it was broken china. That's right. Okay, so tumbled glass is the lightest color, and I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to put them down, put the colors down, and then I'll go back in and blend them out. Here is the broken china, and I'm going to, like I said, just put that color down with the ink blending tool, and now I'm coming in with the faded jeans. I am just using a little piece of paper to hold it in place so I don't get a fingerprint on it, which is what I usually do. I'm working on my Waffle Flower water media mat, which is really easy to ink blend on, and it does keep the paper in place, but I do like to have that extra little bit of scratch paper just so that I can really blend these colors together. And that's how that one turned out. And now I can just write the colors down in that list there. So here's two of them together. You can see they look different, how they stamp and how they blend, and that's just great to have in a swatch book. Okay, now I have all of my swatches die cut, stamped, and ink blended, and now it is time to put them on some discs. This time I am using the gray discs, and I'm just going to pop out two of them. You can see how the rest of the discs stay in the packaging, so you can just slide that backer card back in and keep them really organized. And I started this one at the top. I decided I wanted to start at the bottom and work my way up. I'm sure it would have been fine either way, but I just wanted to see all of the really bright colors at the end there and hadn't seen them in a while. So just popping these onto the little discs, it really is just a second to pop each one on, but of course I sped this up so that you wouldn't have to watch all of that in repetition. The last thing that you can do with one of these disc bound dies, this is again the A7 disc bound die, cuts a piece that's large enough for a 4x6 photo with a little edge of the holes punched on the edge there. So it's really fun to make a flip book. It's really fast as well because you don't have to crop down your photos. The whole 4x6 fits right on the piece of paper. So I'm just using some light colors of cardstock so that the edge looks kind of fun as I flip through the book. And these are all photos from years ago when we went up north to see snow for the kids for the first time. So it was a lot of fun, and I just thought some pinks and purples and light blues were nice frosty colors for this photo flip book. Now, you could do lots of journaling on one side. You could add stickers and embellishments. I'm keeping this really, really simple. I'm going to add a couple of the pink discs and a couple of the mint discs as well. And I'm just going to add all the pages of my book right onto these 4 discs. Again, like I said, the first 1 or 2, it feels like it's going to fall off. Once you get a couple more pieces of cardstock and a couple more photos in there, it will be nice and sturdy and you'll be able to have a really quick flip book. I am going to use the Oversized Mary stamp set, which is a 4x6 stamp set, to create a little title page there. Again, you could add in extra pages in between your photos with more stamping, more journaling, all kinds of things like that. So this is just a really fun way to quickly put together the base of a book and then just have fun adding whatever you want with it. I think I may do another one with my the small school photos that my kids bring home every year, because we give some away and I keep some, but it's like they're just kind of organized in envelopes and in books and things like that. So this would be nice for each of them to have a book of all their school photos. So I added a little title, some snowflakes, and some enamel dots from Waffle Flower to complete my photo flip book. And now I can just flip through that and have all these photos right at hand, or give it to a grandparent or a family member who hasn't seen the photos yet. So that's 3 ways to use the disc bound bundle: the photo flip book, the ink blend swatch book, and the cardstock swatch book. There is another die set in this bundle, and it's called the Color Combos A2 panel die, and I'll show you how to use that in an upcoming video. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're interested in any of the products that I use, they'll all be linked down below. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, visit my blog for more information, and check out some other videos here. Again, thanks again for stopping by and spending time with me. Have a wonderful day.